Hi, welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if you're a regular watcher of my Reddit videos. I'm so sorry there wasn't one yesterday, but I had to go visit a family member in hospital, so we are going to do Am I That Asshole today. So without further ado, let's get into our stories, and we do have one with an update. We all know Reddit updates are usually. So, our first one is I, 27 female, trust my boyfriend, 31 male, but I'm uncomfortable with his one-on-one trips with female friends. Am I that asshole? It's the I trust my partner too, but I don't trust women. So I don't think it's the not trusting your man, it's the do you trust the women he's gone on holiday with? Anyway, let's see why you think he might be the asshole. Okay, so I, 27 female, and my boyfriend, 31 male, are generally in a good and caring relationship. We've been together for 2 years, and overall the relationship is great. He is a caring partner, and I genuinely feel lucky to have him. What I struggle with is he genuinely spends one-on-one time with female friends. There are 3 situations in particular that bother me. He went on a 4-day camper trip one-on-one with one of his female friends. 2, he is planning a 2-week one-on-one trip to China with his female best friend. 3, he once invited a friend of a friend to stay at his place because she was having serious problems with her roommates. They are genuinely serious issues. However, he had only met her 2 or 3 times through that mutual friend, and they weren't close at all. Is he taking you on these holidays though? Does he also take you on these holidays? Because then I guess it's not too bad, but... Okay, so, for context, I genuinely mean it when I say I 100% believe he is not cheating. I've met his female best friend and got no suspicious vibes at all. I don't believe there is any attraction between them. He's been friends with her for about 5 years, and the woman he went camping with has been his friend for 10 years and is also married. That doesn't mean anything, but benefit the doubt. He is generally very independent-minded and says there's no difference between him no difference to him between male and female friends. That is sort of his personality, and he comes from let's say liberal-minded city. To him, all of this is completely normal because he knows he wouldn't cheat and do anything inappropriate. But these situations still make me uncomfortable. In particular, I like that, in my view, he shares what I consider special experiences with other women as if it were no big deal. Going on a 4-day camping adventure alone with someone, taking a 2-week trip to China with his best friend. To me, it is less about sex or cheating and more about exclusivity. I want certain moments and experiences to occupy a special place within a romantic relationship. I don't want a relationship where partners are completely dependent on each other, but sometimes I feel as though his friendships are given the same importance and space as our relationship, and that hurts. Am I overreacting? One could argue that objectively he isn't doing anything wrong. Am I the asshole? I get it. Because I don't want to be dependent on my partner, but it would really hurt because he knows I want to visit all of Asia. If he were to go on a 2-week holiday with someone else that is female, that would hurt a fair bit, probably, yeah. So I get it. He should be like doing all these one-on-one things with you, and maybe like teeny tiny things with friends. I would just sit down and explain all of that to him and see if he sort of gets it. Because unless you talk to him and explain, oh, this is how it's making me feel, he's just gonna see it as, I'm just hanging out with friends. Just hanging out with friends. Because I had a male friend that I used to hang out with, and my partner sat down and talked to me about how it made him feel, even though he knows I'm not cheating. I would never cheat. Absolutely not. But once he sat down and talked to me about it, I then saw his side and was like, okay, I'll make distance between me and this friend. Just sit and talk. Okay, so we will read some comments. I personally would not be this comfortable with this setup, but also it would be wrong of you to try and change him. If you can't make peace with it, you'll have to leave. But try, at least try and chit chat, make some peace before you just leave. Because if you love each other, but I'd have conversation first. Don't just jump to leaving, because that's all Reddit wants you to do, is leave your partner when something ain't right. Info, how would you feel if he did these exact things with male friends? Finally, someone said it. This. You obviously wouldn't feel the same way, because if he's straight, he's not gonna... That's not the point of this post, by the way. They're just digging for a reaction. Is there a reason he isn't inviting you to do these things? Yeah, exactly. Is he not? Does he take you places at least? But why is he not bringing you along? My first thing would be, my partner's coming. My partner's coming, and then see what the women do. Do they just... But I'm not going then. Because certainly, my man was taking a trip to China. He'd be taking me with him. Let me know what you guys think down below. Are you with Reddit on the breaking up, or would you at least chit chat first and see where that all goes? Okay, so I believe this one has an update. So, story 2. I'm an asshole for calling animals on my landlords for, I think he meant animal control. You fixed it in the update, but it's supposed to be animal control. I'm an asshole for calling animal control on my landlords for leaving their husky in 90 degrees. Is this UK 90 degrees, or is this abroad? Because Celsius and Fahrenheit, they're different. So if it's Fahrenheit, it's not actually that. Either way, 90 degrees is not. Over here, definitely not 90 degrees over here. It's definitely Fahrenheit. I don't know why my brain decided, is it this or this? It's definitely Fahrenheit. I don't know how that equates to... I'm trying to find my phone to Google, and I'm recording with it. Okay, so 90 Fahrenheit to Celsius. How warm is that? Holy fuck. 32. That's hot, my dude. 32 Celsius for those who measure temperature in Celsius, like the UK. Okay, so first of all, having a husky in this weather, my god, those poor things. Right, I am sticking with you, you're not an asshole, but we'll see. Okay, so right now I'm renting a room until I can rent a place of my own. And the people I'm renting from has a husky. The husky is an outdoor dog, but when it comes to heat, storm warnings and other forms of intense weather that isn't cold, the dog stays outside chained up. So it is an outdoor dog and it stays outdoor. One day about a year ago, my area was experiencing heavy rain, and sorry, this is not wrote very well. And there was a call for flood warning. I asked if I should bring the dog in since the dog was leaning against the back door, trying to get in and crying. They say she's fine when she's clearly trying to get in the house. Last summer we had 2 intense heat waves, 95 to 100. My god, that's what, like 35 up? Oh my god. They're like 35 to 40 or something. Lasting 2 separate weeks. 1 week they were on vacation and their uncle was dog sitting. I asked both times if I should bring the dog in to cool off because, again, they have a husky. They said no, she has water. She didn't have water because they never refill it. I given the dog ice water the week they were gone and wanted to bring her in, but the issue is I had nowhere to put her. The husky is very hyperactive and doesn't have a crate. Fast forward to this summer, temps reading the mid-90s and they still refuse to bring the dog in. One of my friends suggests that I make an anonymous tip to a local animal control for welfare check. The first call, they went to the wrong home, but the next day they came. They required them to buy a dog house and bring the dog inside. That was about 2 weeks ago. This week and the next few weeks, temps are again going to be high 80s to mid 90s. Would I be wrong if I kept calling animal control if they leave the husky out in the heat? No. Keep calling and keep calling. Because if you call and have been told to put, like, buy a dog house or whatever it is, yeah. If they were told to buy a dog house and they didn't, and they're still doing this to their dog, I would keep calling. Just like, the dog's still like this, blah, 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 blah. I would keep calling. Top comment, not the asshole, 100%. The dog isn't receiving basic care and love and enrichment. They're neglectful, irresponsible, and potentially causing suffering. The dog deserves a good home. Yeah. OP says they came out to feed her like once a day and that's when they would replace water. But none of them make sure that it's clean water unless I go and check. I'm sorry, get those motherfuckers arrested. Right, let's not read any more comments and let's get to the update and see what has happened. So, update on I'm an asshole for calling animal control, my landlords for leaving their dog in 90-degree weather. Let's see. Okay, so update. So things I have left out of part 1 is that she's under the deck, but even in 85 plus weather is still hot. I also live in MD, so summers get hot and humid very fast. I don't know what MD is. Is it America? Is there a state in America that I don't know about? I don't know what MD is. There's also a fan attached to the underside of the deck, but it hasn't worked in over a year. And when it was working, it was blowing hot air. And her chain is probably like 15 to 20 feet max, which is still small as fuck because of how big their backyard is. She probably can explore a very small portion of the backyard, if that. She also hardly gets walked, which is probably why she's so hyperactive. After the first call I made, I called back for an update since I saw the doghouse the morning after I called. The lady I spoke to gave me an update that the dog appears to be clean and healthy. She didn't see a note about the doghouse, but she said it was good that finally bought one. In the note, it also said that because the husky is an outside dog, the dog cries to outside to get inside. I get outside dogs want to be outside but not in dangerous temperatures. If you would be uncomfortable in 90 plus weather or pouring rain with hurricanes or flood warnings, so also being calling from one of those fake number apps, so it doesn't show my call log if they try to confront me about it. I think I understood what you were trying to say there. I recently made a call this morning during the day because of the heat. Then again later in the evening because he was still out there and it was thundering. I had gone to check on her and she's laying under the couch to try and hide. When I made the call to get an update, I heard someone's bringing her in. Dispatch told me this call will be cancelled because of the numerous calls and the dog is fine. It's really not. I then got a knock at the door from the landlords with him wanting to talk to me about the situation about animal control coming 3 times over 3 weeks. His wife was also on speaker. He asked me if I called or saw anyone in the backyard because the no food and no water was too specific. I initially said no because, again, I use a fake number app. He then says that they're filling out a report with animal control to get a caller ID. I started internally panicking. I don't know if the number can get traced back to me, especially because of the fake number app. And after the conversation, I deactivated the account and deleted the app. They also said that whoever was making the calls was going to get sued. I don't know what to do because every possible outcome leads to eviction. You did the right thing. There's no comments on that. It was uploaded 49 minutes ago. You did the right thing. Alright, they got annoyed with all your calls, but you cared about that animal too much. At this point, I'd just take the animal to an animal shelter. If it's not chipped, obviously. Because they're neglecting the animal, and honestly, animals are more important to me than people, so I would do everything in my power, and probably try to do more than everything in my power to save that dog. You shouldn't have a dog like a husky anywhere where it's stupidly hot because they are cold country animals. So I feel awful for that dog. And there's no way it's healthy. Y'all didn't do a good enough check if you're saying that dog is healthy. It's been kept in 32. Oh my god. 32 degrees over here. is like, let me just be completely butt naked with my ceiling fan on, every fan in this room, this one too, everything just pointing at me. Sleep with a freezing cold, damp towel laid over the top of me so I can sleep. My God, that is that kind of weather. That is fucking hot. I am so sorry that you had to keep calling them, and I'm so sorry for that dog, and I hope whatever happens next, the dog will be okay. Because to me, that dog was not healthy. Because no. Right. Let's get on to the next one. Would I be the asshole for stealing our neighbour's cat? Depends. Why are you stealing their cat? Let's find out why they're stealing the cat. I know the title sounds insane. I'm posting on behalf of my mum. Okay. About 2 months ago, we got new next door neighbours. We will call the neighbours Beth. Beth has a 12-ish-year-old daughter who, according to her, begging for a cat for 2 years. Beth doesn't like cats, but they got one anyway. The cat is Smokey. Now, when I say Beth doesn't like cats, I mean it. Smokey is not allowed inside the house because he has fur that gets everywhere. So he exclusively eats and sleeps outside. He's only allowed inside for short times when with Beth's daughter. Beth did not even neuter the cat until someone, we suspect the old neighbours, accidentally brought him in as a rescue, and they neutered and vaccinated him. Beth recalled this story to us, annoyed that she had to pay £200 to get her cat back afterwards. Beth feeds Smokey 2 tubes of wet food a day if she is home. I'm supposed to do like wet and dry, but whatever. Beth has also mentioned that she does not leave water out because he, quote, doesn't drink it anyway. He probably does. We have caught him drinking out of our plant pot outside in the garden at times. Because of that, we decided to start leaving a fresh water bowl outside for him. A few weeks ago, Beth wanted to go spend some time with her new boyfriend whilst her daughter was at a friend's. She asked my mum to feed him and gave us some food for 4 days. So we fed him 4 days in Beth's garden. However, Beth did not return for 6 days. So mum brought a small amount of cat food to keep him fed. When Beth got back, she was angry we had given the cat food for extra days. She said her old neighbours fed Smokey too much, making him stop coming home. My mum apologised. However, Beth has started going away for long weekends nearly every week, usually Friday morning to late Monday, leaving no food for Smokey. When this happens, Smokey usually comes to our front door crying for food, so my mum feeds him. Now Smokey spends all of his time at our house. With recent thunderstorms, we let him inside too. He's a good cat who just wants to sleep somewhere warm, staying in one spot the whole time inside, stretching out, sleeping. My mum got very annoyed when we had a bad thunderstorm and the neighbour called not about cat, but to pick up her parcel if it comes so it doesn't get soaked. When Beth came back home, it usually takes them a day or two to realise Smokey is not home. She will then text my mum, who says, I'll check our garden, and then bring Smokey back. This has led to us looking after Smokey minimum of 4 days a week. and my mum isn't sure what to do. We know we can't actually steal a cat, but we can't report her for neglect either. Previous neighbours tried that, and because he was all fed from neighbours, they didn't have proof of neglect. My mum is considering offering to buy the cat off her, not telling the daughter, and Smokey will still visit, but she's worried that Beth will blow up. Are we overacting, or are we assholes about Beth's treatment of Smokey? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Why are we neglecting animals today? What is going on? I'm getting I've gone from here to all the way up here of wanting to... Some people right now, what the fuck, man? No, you would not be the asshole if you decided to steal the cat. You also are not overreacting. She's not looking after that cat. And by the sounds of it, the daughter isn't really looking after that cat, because what do you mean they're coming back after 4 days and it's taken them a couple of days to realise the cat's not there? That child clearly just wanted novelty of a cat and doesn't really care. Neither of them do. It's quite frustrating that you can't do anything about animal control because you're all feeding the cat. I'm going to assume you explained that you guys have been feeding the cat because she won't, and they still won't do anything about it. If she doesn't want you to buy the cat, I'd just continue looking after the cat, making sure it's fed, bring it inside when it needs to be brought inside, because they obviously don't care. But you do, so thank you for keeping this cat alive. That's incredible. So let's read a comment. I don't think you should take the cat, even if it feels justified. It could cause legal problems later. I completely understand why you feel this way, though from that you've described, it does sound like the cat isn't being cared for properly, and that's really upsetting to see. Instead of taking things in your own hands, it might be better to contact animal protection services or a local rescue and ask for advice. You could also consider contacting the police if necessary. You're not overreacting at all. Neglecting an animal is serious, and it's understandable that you want to step in and see what when you see it's happening. If you ask to buy the cat first and she agrees, that's a completely different situation. But if she refuses, don't take it, report it instead. People in Norway have lost the right to keep animals due to neglect and poor care, and I don't think owning animals should be treated as an absolute right. I'm with this person. They've given some pretty decent ideas for you. Okay, so we have one more. I know it's a hell of a lot more than what I usually read, but this one is also short. So let's get to this. Okay, so final story. Would I be the asshole if I don't tell his girlfriend that he drunkenly hooked up with me? Were you also drunk? If you weren't drunk, you're taking advantage of a drunk person. But you should probably tell her, even if she's going to be mad at you too. Okay, I'm a 28-year-old gay man. Oh, this didn't go the way I thought it was gonna go. Okay, and he is 23. As far as I knew, he was straight. He has a girlfriend and he thought I had one too. That girlfriend thing on my side wasn't real. It was more of a shield while I'm still in the military. Okay, you mean a beard, but yeah. Alright, pretend girlfriend. We knew each other from the military. After some time we met up, drank, and the night somehow turned sexual. It was consensual, and we were both able to consent. So drinking, but not drunk, because you both consented to it. Okay. I know that the relationship part is not okay, and I'm not proud of it. I'm not trying to justify it. I wasn't even thinking about telling it to his girlfriend at first, but after people focus on the fact that she has to know, it made me wonder if I have some responsibility to say something. The reason I'm unsure is that I don't really know his girlfriend. We live in different cities. I've never met her in real life, and we only follow each other on Instagram. I also live in a different city from him now, and realistically, I probably won't see either of them again. For context, we're not from the US. We live in a country where being gay is legal, but still very much not socially accepted. So being outed could have real consequences. Okay. First of all, didn't see that coming. Genuinely thought it was just gonna be another woman. Okay. So it's beautiful, I guess. He's obviously gay as well, or bi. Or he didn't know he was gay and just split with you. I don't know that part. We all don't really know that part. Yeah, it's really difficult to... I can't really tell you to tell her, because then everyone's gonna know that you're... Well, depends on how it plays out, actually. You both live in a different city, so telling her might just leave it on her side to figure out what's going on. She might just leave you out of it. Or she might drag you into... I doubt she's gonna out you, though. It's not like she's gonna go to your country and run around saying, he's gay, because that would be fucking weird. That would be a really weird reaction. She might be mad at you and shout at you, but I don't think she's gonna out that you're gay. I think in the moment she's gonna be like really confused as to like if she doesn't already know if he is bi or gay. She's gonna be really confused about a boyfriend sleeping with a guy. So I would tell her, because I doubt she's gonna out you in your country. I think you're gonna be fine. But I don't know her, so I don't know how she's gonna out her frustrations of the situation, but I think you should be fine. Oh no, let's read some comments. She should know so he can get checked for STIs. You may not be the only person he's cheated with. Yeah, you should both get checked for STIs, actually. Just in case. I would definitely, because it's quite common with, no offense, gays. I know it more in gays than I do know it in straights. Because I'm not actually... Have I met some... I know one straight person who has an STI, or had an STI, or something. Yeah. But I've met a few gays that have... So I would... He might have something. And do your due diligence of just tell her, just in case. Just be like, I'm sorry we drunkenly hooked up, but I'm telling you just on the off chance he might have done it before, and just in case you catch something. It might lighten her arguing with you about it. I don't know. Let's read another comment. So this person thinks you're the asshole. Okay, you're the asshole for facilitating cheating, and she deserves to know she is with a cheater who doesn't love and respect her. I get that. But sometimes being drunk, you can't really control stuff. But you're the asshole for getting him to cheat, but he consented. He knows you know he has a girlfriend. He knows he has a girlfriend. He still consented. So you're not really the asshole, because he could have said, no, I have a girlfriend, and the only way it would make you the asshole, like fully the asshole, not just a little bit of an asshole, would be you saying, but she doesn't have to know. But you want to tell her, so you should tell her. 100%. You should absolutely fucking tell her. You posted about this yesterday, so I feel like you're karma farming. You're the asshole. He's posted this about 28 times in the past day, so it's a bit excessive. Oh, you've posted this a lot. I'm just gonna let you guys decide. Because I think he's a slight bit of an asshole. And the boyfriend's a bit more of an asshole because he knows he has a girlfriend and he still did it. He still consented and still did it. But also you're a bit of a twat because you keep posting it over and over and over again. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. You are posting it over and over and over again, expecting different results, hoping you get the results you want. I don't know what result you actually want from this, but I feel like you're trying to search for a different result and you're not quite getting the result you want. So how about you just do whatever the fuck you want to do. I still think you should tell her in case she gets an STI. I would want to know. Even if the cheating is probably the least of my worries if there's a possibility of an STI. Because I'm going to go myself checked out and I'm going to drag his ass along to be checked out too, and then we just cut it there, yeah. But thank you for joining me in this video. I do appreciate every one of you who does join in these videos. This one was a little bit longer one. I hope you enjoyed it. But if you like, hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon. You know, all that lovely stuff. And if you have any subreddits or Reddit stories you want me to read, please drop them in the comments below and I will get back to you whenever I do another video. So just, you know, keep coming back and finding out. But thank you for tuning in, and I will see all of you lovely people in the next video. Bye!